Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Teacher Nadia. Hi.
Hi, good
Hi,
morning.
Hi,
And I'm
morning.
teacher Amira.
And I'm teacher Basira.
and I'm Teacher Tasneem.
Hello students.
Hello.
Good
Teacher.
morning.
Hello,
Okay,
teacher.
Morning,
let's take
teacher.
our respective place. Let's go. We are back with our science lesson for today. So, how was your weekend?
Great,
It's
teacher.
good, teacher.
Good.
Good. Okay, that's good to know. So, before we start our lesson for today, we are going to do some activities. So, So our first activity is going to be a breathing exercise. Have you heard about breathing exercise before?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes? Oh, that's good. So it's not going to be so hard for you, right? Okay, here I have attached a video from a YouTube. It's a breathing exercise video which only lasts for 30 seconds. So please make sure you follow the instruction carefully, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, let's start. Oh no. Okay, so as the image grows, you should breathe in, and as the image shrinks, breathe out. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
In, out. Okay, that's it. So, I wanna ask you something. So, how do you feel after doing the breathing exercise? Can anyone tell me?
I feel more relaxed, teacher.
Relax. Okay, good. So, when you feel relaxed, so which mean your breathing rate also normal, right? It's steady.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Okay, good. Then let's move on to our next activity. So did you bring a balloon, each one of you?
Yes,
Yes, teacher.
teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good. You should have it, okay? Because I already remind you before. Okay, so it's a blow it up game. So what is it? Okay, first, you only have 30 seconds to blow up your balloon. And then the one with the biggest balloon will be the winner. So it's not gonna take so much time. So are you guys ready? Can we start now?
Yes.
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 Okay. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, start. Okay, time's up.
Oh, wow.
Everyone stop already, right?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good. So can everyone hold your balloon beside you? I need to see.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. The winners for this game goes to, okay, Vasira. Congrats.
Ah,
Okay, that's alright. Okay, actually, I wanna ask you. Okay, whose balloon is that?
it's my teacher. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, so can anyone share with me how do you feel after playing the game? Just tell me briefly. Anyone?
Uh,
Out of
Yes,
breath.
I
Amira.
feel more tired. I feel tired
Tired.
after doing. Yeah.
You feel tired, and then you're having a short of breath, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
Okay. So, uh, why do you think this happened? Why are you having all these things? Why are you feeling so tired? Feeling having short of breath, and then your breathing rate also increase, right? So, can
Yeah.
anyone tell me why does this happen?
Sorry, I'm not sure, teacher.
You're not sure. Okay, that's okay. So, uh, actually, when we are doing some exercise, uh, our muscle works harder. So, our body use more energy. I mean, more oxygen. When we use more oxygen, uh, there's gonna be produced more carbon dioxide. So, in order to cope with this situation, our breathing rate become faster in order to take up more oxygen. Do you get what I mean?
Yes,
Yes, teacher.
teacher.
Yes.
Okay, good. So can anyone tell me what's going to be our topic for today? Anything in mind?
Me is breathing.
Breathing. Okay, good. So today's lesson is going to be about breathing, but more specifically, it's about human respiratory system. Okay. Have you heard about human respiratory system?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
Yes.
teacher.
Okay, good. So actually you have learned about human human system, human body system during form 1, right? So you should already familiar with this. Okay, next. What is human respiratory system? Okay, so human respiratory system is the system in the human body that helps us to breathe. So can anyone tell me what's the function of the human respiratory system? Amira, can you read it for me?
Is to supply oxygen and remove carbon dioxide from the body cells.
Okay, thank you. So when uh, we breathe in air from the surrounding in order to get oxygen and then remove carbon dioxide from the body cells. Okay, next, Basira, can you read it? What is meant by breathing?
Breathing is the process of inhaling and exhaling air by lungs.
Okay, good. So, breathing. We are breathing every time. If you are not breathing, then we are not alive, right? Okay, so during our activity just now, we also breathing, right? We inhaling air and we exhale air. Okay, so next. So I'm going to show to you an interactive image. Can anyone tell me what system is this?
Me, teacher. It's a respiratory system.
Respiratory system. Okay, good. Thank you, Tasnim. So I will tell you the name of each of this organ that are included in the respiratory system. So first, this is nostril. You can see here, right? There's two holes. It is our nostrils. Okay, then the second one is nasal cavity. Nasal cavity is connected to our nostrils. And then pharynx or also known as throat, is a tube that delivers air from mouth and nose to the trachea. And then next, after the air flows into until the pharynx, so it will flows to larynx. You need to remember the name of each organ, okay? This is larynx. Larynx, or also known as voice box, is a hollow organ that allows you to talk. And then, as you can see here, there's a long tube here. This long tube is named trachea, which is a passage connecting your throat and lungs. And then, as you can see here, this is trachea, and at the end of the trachea, there are two branches, which known as bronchus, or in plural, we call it bronchi. Okay, so what is bronchus? Bronchus are tubes at the bottom of the trachea that connect into the lungs. And then, as you can see here, there are so many branches that are connected to the bronchus. So this is bronchiole. Okay, so bronchiole are small branches of bronchial tubes that lead to alveoli. Okay, next, Tasnim, can you read this for me?
Okay. Intercostal muscles. Intercostal muscle is the muscles between your ribs which allow it to expand and contract so you can breathe.
Okay, thank you. So as you can see here, the red one, these are the intercostal muscles. Without intercostal muscles, we cannot move our rib cage, which means we cannot breathe without it. Okay, next. So this is lung. Lung is an organ that passes oxygen into the blood. And as you can see here, at the bottom of our lungs, there is a diaphragm. Diaphragm is a muscle that helps your lungs pull in and pull out air. And last but not least, rib cage. Rib cage are bones that surround and protect your lungs and heart. Next. So here, I've attached a simple diagram for you so that you can use it as a guide to draw your respiratory system. Please remember all the name of the organs included in the respiratory system. Okay, class?
Okay,
Okay,
teacher.
teacher.
Okay. Okay, now I will pass the class to Teacher Basira.
Hi, student.
Hi, teacher.
Hi student.
Hi, teacher.
Okay, so today
Teacher.
I will continue to teach about breathing mechanism. Did you guys still remember what teacher Nadia taught just now?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
you can see the slide.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so this is an animation that show a process of breathing mechanism. So by looking at this animation, can someone guess where the air enter during breathing mechanism?
Is it nostrils?
Okay, that's right. Good, Nadia.
Okay.
Okay, so can someone also guess where the air will flow.
Teacher,
Can I guess?
Okay.
Okay.
Is it to alveolus?
Yes, it's true. So, before we go through about the flow of air in breathing mechanism, let's do some short game. So, you guys can click the link that I already pasted on the chat box or scan the QR code that display on the screen. Okay. This is the fill in the blank activity. You guys just need to drag the answer option to the box in the correct sequence. You guys only have 1 minute to complete the task. Did you guys already done?
Yes, teacher.
So let's check the answer together.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the answer. Air will flow from the nostril to the nasal cavity and then to pharynx. Next will be larynx and trachea to the bronchus and bronchial, and the last one is alveolus. Did you guys get the right answer?
Yes, teacher.
So it's good. Congratulations, guys.
Yay, thank you.
So let's continue our lesson by watching a short video about breathing mechanism.
Mechanics of breathing. Consciously take a breath and think about the fact that there are 10 different muscle groups working together to make this happen. These muscle groups include the diaphragm and intercostal muscles. The main muscle used for breathing is the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a dome-shaped structure consisting of several large muscles, which is sandwiched between the chest cavity, containing the lungs and the rib cage, and the abdomen, containing the digestive system, including your stomach. The muscles that move the rib cage itself are the internal and external intercostal muscles. They are each attached to the ribs and run between them. To inhale air, the diaphragm contracts and moves down, while the external intercostal muscles contract, forcing the rib cage up and out. The combined effect of the diaphragm and intercostal muscles increases the volume of the chest cavity and expands the lungs. This expansion of the lungs increases their volume, reducing the pressure within them, causing air to be drawn in. This action is similar to a piston sucking petrol into a car engine. In normal breathing, we use around 25% of our lung capacity, which is called our tidal volume. As you inhale deeply, the diaphragm moves further down into the abdomen, pushing your belly out, giving more room for the lungs to expand and draw in more air. This type of breathing is called belly breathing or abdominal breathing and is critical to prepare you for your free dive. Belly breathing allows you to completely fill your lungs with air. The maximum amount of air your lungs can hold is called your total lung capacity. With training, you can use more of your lung capacity.
Okay, from the video, that someone can tell me what happened in breathing mechanism.
Teacher.
Yes.
So, during inhale or exhale?
Maybe inhale first.
So, what I can get from this video, when we inhale, our rib cage will move upwards, and then
Okay.
our
Okay. Continue.
diaphragm will be contract and flatten. So,
Okay.
there will be more area. Huh? Okay, let's see.
Let's see. So Tasni, maybe you can try for exhale.
Can I try? From the video, I think that if for the exhale, the rib cage will move downward, and the diaphragm will move upward, and the volumes of the what we call it, the thor-
Thoracic cavity.
the volumes in
Thoracic cavity.
thoracic cavity will be lower.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
true. So legs. We continue with details from the video. Okay, so from this diagram, this is a diagram that show of inhalation mechanism. So based on this diagram, you guys can see that when we inhale, the intercostal muscle will contract and pull the rib cage upwards. Then the diaphragm muscle contract and pull the diaphragm to descend and become flat. The movement of the rib cage and diaphragm will make the thoracic cavity bigger. The air pressure in the thoracic cavity will be decreased and the volume of thoracic cavity will be increased. So for the next one is a diagram of exhalation. So based on this diagram, you guys can see that when we exhale, the intercostal muscle will relax and the rib cage will move downwards and inwards. The diaphragm muscle will relax and curve outwards. The movement of the rib cage and the diaphragm will make the thoracic cavity smaller. Then air pressure in the thoracic cavity increase. Also the volume of the thoracic cavity will decrease. Did you guys get it?
Yes, teacher.
Alright, so I
Yes,
will
teacher.
pass the next lesson to teacher Amira. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Alright, so now I will continue to teach the lesson. So based on teacher Basira taught just now, did you notice that what happened to the diaphragm during inhalation? So let's try to answer this in vocab. You can scan the QR code displayed on the slide, or you can just click on the link that I share in the chat box. Okay? Wow, good answer, everyone. Yes, mostly correct answer. Just some is not correct. Okay, never mind. So yes, during inhalation, actually the diaphragm will move downward and contract and flatten. So I can see some correct answers here and some are not, but it's okay. We just need a little more explanation. So next. So for you to create more understanding, I already asked you guys to create a 3D model in group of 5. So like the previous lesson already explained the steps on how to create the 3D model that resembles a respiratory system. So I just state back what are the steps that you guys need to do to create the model. But I hope you still remember and already done it. Okay. So the first step is cut a bottle into half. Next, poke a hole on the lid of the bottle. Third, fix a straw through the hole of the lid and then close it. And number 4, put a balloon to the end of the straw. Fifth one is to cut another balloon into half. And lastly, cover the bottom of the bottle with the balloon. And done. So, are you guys already did the model?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Good, good. So, okay. Now, I would like to hear a representative from group 1 to describe the breathing mechanism based on the 3D model. So, I would just want to hear like, what you observe with the model. Can I have a representative from group 1 to present?
Okay, this is a model that our group has made. So this green represents the diaphragm and the red balloon represent a lung and this straw represent a trachea. So what I observe when I pull down the green balloon, the red balloon was expanded. That's all, teacher.
Good, good, good. Thank you, Basira from group 1. Okay, so that's correct. The trachea, the bottle as rib cage, and the red balloon as lungs. Okay, and the outside of the red balloon is intercostal muscle, and the green balloon as diaphragm. Okay, so you can see the simulation of inhale and exhale process at the picture I put there. So next. So based on the 3D model, I hope that you can see clearly, more clearly, what is the differences between the inhalation and exhalation process. So I suggest for you to just memorize either one of it so that you don't need to memorize or understand too much information. Okay, let's say if you look at inhalation process. So when you inhale air, what happens is your lung will become bigger. Okay, because the air enter your lungs, right? So when your lungs becomes bigger, what happens inside the lungs is the thoracic cavity becomes bigger. Okay, because it is inside the lungs, right? And then when the thoracic cavity or the lungs becomes bigger, of course the rib cage become outwards so that it has more space for the lungs to expand. Okay, and as you can see with the 3D model just now, that when you pull the green balloon, okay, which represents the diaphragm, when you pull it downwards, then it means that it is inhalation process. Okay, so when you pull downwards, what happens? The lungs become bigger, which means the inhalation process occurs. So that is what happened in exhalation process in opposite way. Okay, when the air pours out of the lungs become smaller. So when the lungs become smaller, it means the content inside the lungs, which is thoracic cavity, becomes smaller, and the rib cage becomes inwards. Okay, because it is contract. Okay, and then the diaphragm will curve outwards, and the air pressure increases. Alright. So I think that is all. So do you have any question?
Teacher, I have a question.
Uh, okay.
Why does the air pressure decrease when the thoracic cavity becomes bigger?
Oh, okay. Good question. So I actually also want to share with you the extra info in the next slide. Okay, you can see in the extra info where, okay, when you have bigger volumes, okay, bigger volumes, which means you have bigger space, right? So when you have bigger space, then the molecules of the air, okay, we don't need to collide each other more often, which means they can move much more freely. Okay, so they don't have to feel pressure or stressful lah. In other words, okay, or you can see the next the right picture. So when the volume decreases, which means there is small space. So when the small space, so the particles or molecules of the air will always collide with each other. So they will become stressful or pressure. So just you can remember that way. So when there are bigger space or higher volume, so the pressure decreases because they can move freely. Okay, you get it, Nada?
Teacher, thank you.
Alright, good. So in summary, in the next slide, so you already learned that I taught you just now, which is the difference between inhalation and exhalation process. Okay, I hope that you can remember this, and not just remember, but most importantly is understand the content, so that it will be easier for you to remember actually. So I think that's all. I pass to Teacher Tasni.
Okay. Right. For now, we have done learning about the human respiratory system. So next, let's play a game. This game is to test your understanding about today's topic. Okay, today we are going to play a game called Goal Quack. So let me give you short instructions before we start the game. Firstly, you will go to bluecat.com/play at the Google and enter the game ID that's given here. Next, you will enter your nickname and choose any avatar you like. There's a lot of animal avatars that you can choose. So during the game, you answer a few questions, then choose display on your you will that will be on screen. Then if you manage to answer the question correctly, you will be given a chance to choose and open a chest. And some examples of the rewards are you can double your gold or you can take some gold from your friends. So are you ready?
Yes,
Yes, teacher.
teacher.
Alright, without further ado, let's play the game.
Yay, let's go.
time is up. So during the game, I can see that they are sweating and stalling go from to each other. So the ranking keep changing. Sometimes Bashi on the first place, sometimes Ina on the first place. So but in the end of the game, next slide. And by the end of the game, the winner is Noor. Congrats, Noor, and congrats to other students too. You all did well, and thank you, students, for participating in to do this game. Are you enjoying this game? Are you enjoying this game?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
So much.
All right. All right. Thank you. So next, let's move on to the next activity. So now let's do a little discussions about the quizzes just now. So for the question number 1, the question is what is the functions of respiratory system? So the answer is to supply oxygen and remove carbon dioxide system. So so during respirations, during breathing, when we breathe, we take in oxygen and we take out carbon dioxide, and where the exchange of these oxygens occur at the alveolus. Next question number 2. The two tubes that enter the lungs. So what is the structure? The two tubes that enter the lungs. So the answer is bronchus. So, so okay, next. Number 3. The question is the exchange of gases in the body cells occurs at. So like I just said for the question number 1 just now, the exchange of gases, which is oxygen and carbon dioxide, happens at the alveolus. So all students, you really need to remember all the structure and all the order of the respiratory system, the breathing mechanism.
Okay, teacher.
Alright, so question number 4. Okay, good. Question number 4. Which sequence correctly indicates the directions of air in breathing mechanism? So this part already taught by teacher Basira. So the answer is the air of the direction of air will begin at the end up at the alveolus. So please make sure that and that's you don't mix or don't talk between pharynx and larynx. So maybe it's quite confusing there. So please make sure you don't mix between those two. All right, are you clear, students?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
All right, move on to the next. All right, move on to the next question. So the image given. The image shows the mechanisms of. So from the image given, we can see that the diaphragms move downward and the rib cage move upward. And the pressure of air outside of the body is higher than indicates the inhalations. Alright, first question. During inhalations, the lungs move upward in terms of thoracic activity. So this statement is true or false. So the answer is false. Because from the question 5, you can see the inhalations. From the picture, we can see that the inhalations, diaphragms move downwards and increasing the volumes of the thoracic cavity. Alright, so next. So number 7, speech mechanism. The question is which? So the answer is diaphragm relaxes and move upwards. So before the questions asked about the inhalation, so you can, I think you can differentiate between those two. So the other options, the other options of the answer is for inhalations. Okay, number 8. Um, Name the parts of human respiratory system represented by the balloon. Alright, so the answer is lung. Before, teacher Amira already show us model and already learned which parts that represents we all learned about is our human respiratory system. Alright, student. So now we almost finish all the activities for today's lessons. But before we end our class, let's have some for the topics that we have learned just now. So firstly, can I have someone to tell me what you have learned today, or just say anything what you understand about respiratory system?
Teacher, can I try to?
Okay. Okay. Nadia, yeah.
Okay, so what I have learned today, I've learned about the structure of respiratory system, and then the flow of air from the surrounding and into our lungs to the alveolus, and then we also learn about the mechanism of inhale and exhale.
Alright, good answer, Nadia. Okay, so next we summarize what we have learned today. So firstly, we learned about the structure of human respiratory system. So we have to memorize about all this structure, their functions, and also their positions. So that you and able to draw and also the diagram. Alright, so do you still remember the functions of some of this structure?
Yes, teacher.
Alright, so may I ask, just randomly, what is the functions of alveolus? Anyone can answer?
Me.
Alright.
The function of alveolus is
Exhale.
to yes,
Exhale.
there's gonna happen an exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide there.
Yes, correct. Correct. Yeah. Is a place where the gas of oxygens and carbon dioxide exchange. Alright. Next, we also learn about the breathing mechanism. First, we learn about the directions of air, the flow of the air in the respiratory system. So it starts from the nostril and flow until the end, which is at the alveolus. And so the important things about this part is you need to remember the movement of diaphragm, the rib cage, you lish, and also remember change the ranges, and also you have to the volumes and pressure during the inhalations and exhalations. So I hope that you can differentiate between these two mechanisms.
Teacher.
So next
Okay.
slide. Okay, good. Alright, so before we end our lesson today, we end our class today. I have something for you guys, which is
No.
homework. Alright, so
No.
don't worry, guys. Not that much. So for today's homework, you have to refer your textbook, page 53, formative practice 2.1. You have to answer all the questions from question 1 to question 4. But don't worry, I will give you a few days for you to finish the homework. So later, you have to submit your homework in the link given. and I also will pass this link into the WhatsApp group later. So I think that that's all for today's lesson. See you in the next class. Bye, students.
Okay.
Bye, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
teacher.
Thank you.